Hello and welcome to the Middle East Brokers Podcast, a podcast made by real estate agents for real estate agents, a podcast that addresses real world affairs that real estate brokers and real estate agents or real estate consultants deal with on the daily in their profession in the Gulf Cooperation Council, the GCC region, and as well as the Middle East in general. The podcast welcomes the full spectrum of industry experts and stakeholders for their insights, tips, and views on the current state of affairs of the real estate industry in the Middle East. And I am super excited to be welcoming an amazing friend, an excellent colleague, a celebrity of sorts in the city of Dubai, the land of opportunities, Mr. Abdullah Abdulqader, in our episode today. Welcome, Abdullah.
Assalamu alaikum. Hi.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. And by popular demand, we also have Mr. Rakan Ghost back on the episode. Thanks for joining, Rakan.
Thank you very much for having me.
Excellent. Now, Dubai, of course, is a city like no other. It's a place of extravagance and wonder that has captured the imagination of people from all around the world. This stunning city boasts some of the most iconic and impressive landmarks in the world. But it's more than just a collection of awe-inspiring buildings and attractions. It's a vibrant and cosmopolitan city that is home to people from all over the world with a rich cultural heritage and a modern outlook. It's truly a melting pot of different cultures. And Mr. Abdullah Abdulqader is joining us today as an experienced and expert real estate professional in Dubai to give us his perspective and his insights on how it is to be like a real estate professional, a consultant, a broker in the city of Dubai. Abdullah, before we get started, please take a moment and tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Imran, for having me today. My name is Abdullah Abdulqader. I'm from Saudi Arabia, but I was born in UAE. I'm almost more than 40 years in Dubai. I started my profession as real estate in the sake of passion because I had big passion about the city. I'm so attached with the city. So I used to visit under construction sites even before joining real estate, to be honest. And I joined real estate because of my love and the passion of the city itself. So I want to be a part of the development, welcoming new people to the city, help the new people finding their home, their investments and such. So I started real estate in 2011, and it's almost 12 years so far. And it's an amazing, what can I say? Especially nowadays, it is really, really, really busy and amazing period of time that the market is really, really active, mature. Nobody, to be honest, whoever don't know Dubai real estate situation will not believe it. What's going on today, to be honest.
That's true. I mean, we're seeing some unprecedented market activity, and we will certainly get into a little bit about what makes Dubai an attractive destination for real estate buyers and sellers and investors. But before we get into that, a little bit more about yourself, Abdullah. So before you joined real estate, what profession or what career track were you on?
Construction.
In construction. Okay, so you sort of
Yes.
were already immersed in the real estate domain before you decided to get your license.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. And as far as, of course, I mean, you know, you're doing amazing, and your clients and testimonials and the feedback that we hear from your clients is testimony of what excellent luxury service that you provide to your clients. However, if you could maybe comment a little bit about how has this changed your life? Like, how has this impacted your life since you became a real estate broker?
Oh my God, this is a really big question. Imagine you can work from home, literally. Imagine you have freedom in terms of time, financially, your own decision. You want to take vacation. It's not, this is the result, okay? Not the beginning. So what I'm saying is the result after long years, after a lot of difficulties, after a lot of hard work, you reach this level. So today I can go anywhere, whenever I want. I don't have to ask anybody where I'm going, where I'm coming to. You have a nice lifestyle. I don't know. For me, since it's my passion, every day is a weekend, to be honest, for me.
That's amazing.
Because, yes.
That's fantastic. Now, a little bit more about the you know, you mentioned that it's it took a long time for you to get to the point of where you are today. There was a path, a journey that you took of hard work, of dedication, and of always being committed to your vision, even when it became extremely difficult. And I want to drive that point because in our previous episodes, and this is one of the messages that I really want to give out, is that being a real estate broker is really about being the true entrepreneur that you can be. It is about establishing a business. It is your own business. This is not a licensed profession. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's not a job. This is, as a real estate broker, you are establishing your own business. You are the CEO of your own company. Would you agree with that?
Totally agree. Yes, you are. It is. Yes.
And,
See,
please go ahead.
what I want to say, it's about, see, there is no one at your back. You have your own commitment. You have your own base. You have your own tasks. You have your own schedule. You have your own, because the moment you realize the more you do, the more you get, it will be really motivating you to do more and more and more.
Absolutely. And you've done an amazing job, not just in developing your own career, but you're also supporting your colleagues in the industry. And there are many that are absolutely benefiting from working with you.
I agree. I did in COVID-19 in March or April 2020. I did at the lockdown. I did what can I say, a free course to my colleague in the market and to my investors, and they had a very big impact. Imagine I had around 2,200 attendees, and it was around 28 classes, and it was free classes, and they had big audience, big what can I say, feedback, conversations, give and take. Till today, literally till today, I'm receiving people who want to join this industry or who want to join my team. But of course, I don't have the personal capacity to accommodate all that. And being an individual is really difficult. But if you have a platform or you have a company, of course, you can accommodate these people, because these people are newcomers, not only for the career, for the country sometimes. So,
right.
So being a real estate, see, they always say I need local real estate agents. So they say local real estate agents. So you have to help them to be local first, then to help them to be an agent.
That's right. There is an element of naturalizing yourself to the Dubai landscape and the Dubai market, and become the local that you can then use your platform to support the others. And so let's get into Dubai now. I mean, there's no secret here about why Dubai is on the map here in the world. It's doing things. It's really the land of opportunities. It's the hub of innovation. When we enter Dubai, you feel like you've entered the future. But in your words, what makes Dubai an attractive destination for real estate investors?
See, Dubai is a whole system, is a whole experience. When you come to Dubai and if you join, for example, Emirates Airline, the Dubai experience starts from your own local airport, starting from the counter, reaching to the audience. What can I say? The sound identity, their own songs, their own colors, their own experience within the flight, the Dubai airport itself. So imagine the system starts from your own city. Then when you reach Dubai, and Emirates, for example, is one of the best airlines in the world. Dubai airport is the busiest airport in the world. When you go to Dubai, you can use the cab or the taxi. You can use Tesla. You can use a fancy car, or you can use normal car. Then you will use the roads reaching the very nice skyline. You're gonna see the Burj Khalifa, downtown, JBR, Dubai Marina. So it's a whole system. To open business is very easy. To live in is very easy. Everything is organized. We have one of the best infrastructure in the world. Very safe, very family friendly, business friendly. So why not Dubai? Actually, it's not why Dubai. It's why not Dubai.
Absolutely. Why not Dubai? I mean, what is it that your heart desires that does not exist in Dubai, right?
Exactly.
And that is really the differentiator.
Yes. Imagine in Dubai, you can go to highest point built by humanity. You can go to ski in the middle of the desert. You can go to a room under the water. You can go to an artificial island. You can go to I don't know, whatever is there, you name it, it's there.
Right. I mean, from a tourism perspective, really, I mean, there's few places in the world that offer the breadth and variety of attractions. However, even from a day-to-day living perspective, right, like the cost of living is quite reasonable. The choice of education for children, or even if you are a student of higher education, the choice for higher education is absolutely fantastic. You know, the roads network, the technology network, the infrastructure that's available affords some of the absolute best connectivity. And then, you know, as you mentioned, Abdullah, the Dubai airport as a hub, strategically located, you know, it's the busiest for a reason. It's just one flight away from most of the destinations on planet Earth, which is amazing. I'm
Yes, I
curious
agree.
to hear your thoughts. You know, how did the pandemic affect the Dubai real estate market?
To be honest, of course, it's affected us, but we tried to manage as much as we could. So the government did a very nice thing that we could do property transfer from a buyer to a seller, or the opposite, doing it online. So, for example, I had a personal experience in the pandemic that my seller was from Saudi and the buyer was from Lebanon, and the buyer was in town while the seller was in Saudi, and we could do the transfer online using Zoom or whatever. So the government could, what can I say, absorb the effect or the impact as much as we could, and we learned a lot as usual. Dubai, but what I like about Dubai, it's a dynamic city. It's a dynamic government. They take, when they see the action, they take the when they say that, what can I say? They take actions. For example, in pandemic, after pandemic, what they did with the new regulations, it's really, for example, yesterday I had a deal using crypto. Really, I had a deal using crypto. Some government, they say it's illegal. No, in Dubai you can buy a property using crypto. We have a very mature regulated system for using crypto. We could get one of the biggest platforms like Binance or whatever, who's doing crypto, and they have their main offices in Dubai, or one of their main offices in Dubai. So it's really dynamic. The people here take very fast, smart decisions. So if it's pandemic, if it's some war here or there, or if it's financial crisis as what happened in 2008, whatever, it is really dynamic. So we take it, accept it, absorb it, and we take action.
Right. That's amazing, right? And it's a testament, because Dubai has been on a growth trajectory since, as far as really the mind can
You know,
remember.
last April, it was the highest record in terms of transaction in the history of Dubai. That's today, in the middle of I don't know, international financial issues, and in the middle of wars here and there. But even though we are so busy doing business in terms of real estate, and even in the private sector in general.
I
Rakan, you
have
had
a
a
question.
comment? Yeah.
Yes. So that transaction that was settled with crypto. So the government had their own escrow account, like their own crypto account. So the money was deposited in crypto to the government. Is that what you're saying?
See how it works. The seller had the digital wallet, so they accept the payment on that digital wallet and they transfer it directly in dirhams.
Okay. So there's a digital wallet, there is a custodian of the cryptocurrency. Now, I mean, I want to explore this a little bit, but going back to what you had said earlier, right? Dubai is a safe city, right? Now, you're telling me about a transaction, for example, you're giving us an example of people that are located in disparate locations, and they're coming together in Dubai and making a transaction. How does the government of Dubai ensure the you know, from a money laundering perspective, of course, right? And this is a big question, and I'm not saying that there's no risk, but I know that Dubai does an excellent job in managing and mitigating that risk. So can you tell us a little bit about how you are identifying these people, how you are working with these people, and ensuring a legal transaction is happening?
Perfect. First of all, we are not allowed as an agent to do a cash deals. And if it happened, any amount above 50,000 dirham, we have a specific platform. Me as an agent, I have an access on it, and I have to declare that this has happened, this is the guy, this is the seller, this is the amount, and we upload it in the system. And if any more investigation should be done, the government will contact us. Yes, Abdullah, as an agent, you declared that this incident happened, provide us such, provide us such. So we as an agent, or at least personally, I don't do cash deals just to avoid this kind of issues. But in terms of individuals, it is really, what can I say? It's really tricky. So we use manager checks between individuals. But the deal happened yesterday. It was between a developer and a buyer. So, so money laundering checking and this stuff is related to the developer, not me as an agent. But if it's between two individuals, yes, I agree. You have to upload the documents to a specific platform, as I said, and some investigation could be happen after this deal.
Right, right. So there is a mechanism for the government to allow you to submit the documentation, to have those checks for investigation or for future audits or for anything like that. So it's not it's not a loose mechanism. It's a very tightly regulated mechanism.
Of course, of course, of course. For example, what happened yesterday exactly? My client had euros, not dirhams. So I paid from my card the deposit, 20,000 dirham. So I had to sign a third-party declaration. They got my card copy. They got my signature. Who am I? My ID, whatever. So it is regulated. Yes, it is, of course.
Excellent. Rakan, I'm sorry. Did that address your question? Perfect. I'm seeing him giving me a thumbs up. That's amazing. Abdullah, I wanna understand a little bit more about the market now. So some of our listeners are of course brokers that are trying to establish a presence, a brand in the Dubai market. They want to grow, or they are already established but are looking to level up and take their business to new heights. So having that in mind, could you comment on some of the current trends that you are seeing in the Dubai real estate market?
Luxury properties. Luxury properties is really busy nowadays. This is the trend actually. We are having branded properties like Armani. We are having St. Regis. We are having what else? We are having all these names. Grinigono. We are having Jacob and Co. We are having
Pagani.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly Pagani. So these the Aston Martin also, we had the project before a few months. So luxury branded properties is the trend today in Dubai.
Now, when for agents that are entering into the luxury market, what are some of the most common mistakes that you're seeing that they're making?
Knowledge, lack of knowledge. And I don't blame them. Dubai is a very dynamic market. Even if I'm on vacation, Imran, I have 1 hour every day at the end of my day, just collecting the data of the new projects daily. Imagine, daily. So you have to dedicate 1 hour to collect the new launched projects and have their data. And I know we are having platform where it give you the transactions and it give you, but some details are not there. It's we have to add value to your clients. You should have more information about it, not only public information. So lack of knowledge is the issue. And as I said, I don't blame them. It is very dynamic. It's not easy to catch the information, the flow of the information.
Right. No, absolutely. Now, I mean, one of the things that we've noticed is that Dubai is expanding in all directions. There is incredible volume of property that's coming onto the market. However, the government has taken a very active role in making sure that the dynamics of supply and demand is maintaining in a very balanced sort of way.
I will tell you something. You as a registered broker, we have a platform called ReTech. we can see how what is the exactly demand and what is the exactly supply. And the government is keeping around 20% difference in terms of supply and demand. What I want to say is they're trying to keep the occupancy rates in average between 80 to 84.
Okay. And that is across the board for owned properties only, or are you including, for example, rentals in this as well?
All properties.
All properties. Now, how
Yes.
easy is it for foreigners who are not residents of Dubai to buy or rent a property in Dubai?
To rent is not possible because they should be a resident, of course. Otherwise, why are they gonna rent? But to buy, that is very simple. It is literally online. You can, for example, let's assume you are a client who is interested in Emaar. For example, me as a registered agent with Emaar, I have an app. We go to the app, we check the availability, the inventory. I show you the details, the information, etc., etc. And let's assume you choose or you pick a unit. Very simple. All what I need is passport copy, your address, mobile, and email. That's all what I need. Then you will receive a link using mobile. You're using WhatsApp. Dear Mr. Imran, Abdullah registered the unit under your name, blah blah blah. Please check the details. You will go through the details. You will check that the document is matched with what I said or what I promised or what I informed you. That the unit number is this, that the layout is that, the size, the price, the payment plan, etc. If you agree with that, just click agree. Then you put your credit card. It will get $10,000, and boom, that's your unit already. You have 15 days to do the transfer for the payment to the escrow account, which is a bank account monitored and controlled by the government, not even Emaar itself or the developer. So you will be very safe. You will transfer the amount, and that's it. You will get the receipt within 3 to 4 weeks on the address you just or I just mentioned it in the form. You will get the contract, 2 copies. You sign it, and some developers even e-signature using the phone, and that's it. Congratulations.
Now, of course, the government has done the due diligence on vetting the developers, but there is always that risk, even if it's a small risk, but there is always a risk that the developer will not deliver the product as promised. How does a buyer protect him or herself against that risk in Dubai?
First of all, you should check about the reputation about the developer. Do they have history or not? That's the first easy job you have to do. Due diligence, we can say. Next, the government will, as I told you, will control the funds, so they cannot play with it. At the end, in the handover time, the government do survey. Is the real unit matching with the paper unit? Everything is okay. Then they give them a permit to hand over the units. So what I want to say, even if they want to hand over the unit, we should take an approval from the government that we need to hand over the unit to Mr. Imran. And after the approval and the government will check the details and the specification, they can hand over the unit to you.
Right. And for those brokers that are listening, of course, this is where we as real estate professionals play an absolute essential and critical role in making sure that we become the trusted source of having done that due diligence, the trusted source of knowledge, the trusted source of information, as Abdullah mentioned earlier, right? The biggest mistake that brokers make is they enter into a domain not having a knowledge, not having industry insights. And this is where you can differentiate yourself by being the most knowledgeable and most trustworthy real estate professional for those potential buyers. Just shifting gears a little bit, Abdullah, from a seller's perspective, are you working with sellers, and how is it working with sellers in Dubai?
Oh my God, working with seller in Dubai is really, really different story. Imagine you cannot promote a property unless you have a signed contract between you and the seller. And this contract is done electronically. So for example, you called me, Abdullah, I want to sell my property. I will tell you, Mr. Imran, please send me your title deed. Every single title deed has a reference number. We use this reference number, and every agent has a user and password to the government system, land department system. So we log into the department or land department system. I will put your title number, and I will put any single details like your passport number, your date of birth, or your Emirates ID number. If the title deed and this information is matched, you will get entered to the property details. Now, next step is the system will show me a part of your email and mobile number. I will share to you, Mr. Imran, is this accurate? You will tell me, Abdullah, yes, it is accurate. I will tell you, okay, Mr. Imran, I will do a contract with full details. You will get an email with link. Please click on that link. You will get a one-time password to your email. So by this method, they will make sure no one will open the contract. It's only you as a landlord. You will go through the terms and conditions. If you accept it, you click accept. If you don't, you say I don't. If you accept it, I will receive a message directly to my email and my mobile number, SMS. Dear Abdullah, your contract number, blah, 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 is accepted or rejected. Now, when I have this contract, we have another platform, which is by land department. We put the contract number and we get a permit number from that contract. And imagine using this permit number on the portals, if you change any single details, nowadays the artificial intelligence AI is very smart, and that the AI will catch the fake listing or the wrong price on the portal, and it will be removed within 2 hours or 3 hours. So
Amazing.
It is 100% controlled. It is 100% controlled. Now we listed the property. I have a buyer. Mr. Rakan is my buyer, for example. He say, Abdullah, I'm interested on this unit. I will tell him, okay, Mr. Rakan, do you have an Emirates ID? If he say yes, as soon as I put his Emirates ID, I will have his details. I will send him, Mr. Rakan, is this your details? Yes. Are you happy with this details? Are you gonna pay this unit? Yes. Okay. I say, I will send it to him. Again, he will have it in his email and he will approve it using one-time password. Now I have a contract between me and Rakan as a buyer. So I have a contract between the seller and they have a contract between the buyer. I will put, I'm gonna generate what we call it the selling contract. So I'm gonna put both contract details numbers. It will automatically fetch the information of the seller and the buyer. And both parties will receive again an email and OTP. If they approve it, that's it. The contract is ready and the government will have the details. All we're gonna have to do is just go to a trustee office. Within 15 minutes, deal can be done, literally.
Amazing.
And
within 15 minutes, the deed is transferred.
Yes, within 15 minutes. And you know what? If you sign the contract between any buyer, the contract which is signed by other agents will be deactivated and the listing will be removed. Plus, you can do this with only 3 agents in the market. So you have to choose carefully. You cannot have 4 or 5 or unlimited number of agents. If you sign the contract with me, you have a chance to sign with 2 more. That's it. So you have to choose wisely.
Okay.
And you are safe as an agent. You cannot sign a contract with me and with someone else. Fool my buyer or fool others. You got or other agents. So it is really controlled and really, I love it, to be honest, as an agent.
It's regulated. I mean, they are allowing some level of competition. So you are saying that if a seller signs with you, he or she has the ability to sign with 2 more agents in order to sell their property.
Unless if he signed it with me as an exclusive agent, he can't.
Okay.
The system will not allow.
So there is exclusive contracts and then there's non-exclusive, which allows for a maximum of 3 contracts to exist between the seller and the agents. Now,
for the specific property, yes.
For this specific property. And the government is so tightly regulating this where they are monitoring every component of this transaction from the time the contract is signed to the time a buyer has been identified.
And you know what? You as for example, Rakan, he's looking for a property on the portal. In every single listing, he can find the QR code. Using his phone, he can just scan it. He will get all the details. This is listed with Abdullah. The asking price is this. The unit size is that. Whatever.
So that's amazing. You know what? Because going back to, let's say, 10 years ago, or maybe even more, or maybe even less, to be honest with you, I remember hearing concerns and worries that buyers had that were coming in trying to find property in Dubai, where they would meet with 10 different agents and 10 different agents would give them 10 different prices. And there was this bad reputation that had been established about the honesty and integrity of the information that people could get from the agents. Now, what you are telling us here today completely eliminates that risk. Now, this is 100% standardized.
If you are changing one dirham in the listing, You have to modify the contract. Otherwise, the AI will remove your listing from the portal. 1 dirham only.
Amazing. So it's so tightly regulated. Now, this should, for those listening, even if you're a broker, that is a major sense of comfort that you can provide to your clients, whether they are buyers or sellers, that, you know, we now are, we don't have a choice but to act with integrity. Of course, you should always be acting with integrity anyway, but now the government has made it so that there is no choice, right? And that's fantastic for the buyers and the sellers.
If you have a property, we have something called the open source. If you have a property, you know when it was sold, how many times, how much is rented for, what is the size, initial prices, every single details about the property, even if you're not related with it. But of course, you won't find the owner name or whatever, or his passport or whatever. But about the property itself, you can know how much, how big it is, when it was sold at the beginning from the developer, how many times sold, what is the rental, and how much. You know what? Even the system will calculate the profit and loss for every single transaction. You don't have to calculate it. To tell you, this guy, wallahi, this guy gained 15%, this guy lost 10%. And this guy is doing ROI 5%. This guy is doing
so and this is public information.
Public information. And you know what? We have, of course, service charge. If you listed a property as an agent, the system itself will fetch the service charge if there is any remaining dues, or even if there is a legal case on this property, you won't be able to list it. This will tell you, no, there is a legal case in the rental committee, or there is a case in the management office, or whatever. So if anything wrong with this property, owner himself, he cannot do anything.
Amazing. You know what,
Yes.
Abdullah, I mean, your insights and of course, talking to you is always such an exciting moment for all of us. And for those listening, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, follow our channel. We are running out of time, Abdullah, but we would love to have you back and talk to you a little bit more. Inshallah, we'll have you back and explore your domain a little bit more. Again, thanks for tuning in. If you're listening, remember to follow or subscribe, depending on the platform that you're listening on. But I want to thank Abdullah Abdulqader for joining us today and sharing amazing insights of what he does in the Dubai market. And I also want to thank Rakan Ghoth for joining us again and sort of bringing in the insights and sort of the perspective that Rakan can bring as well. So thanks again for listening. Again, this is the Middle East Brokers Podcast, a podcast made by brokers, by agents, for brokers and agents. Thanks again for listening. Until next time, take care.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.